Hey everybody, Justin White here, and you're about to check out episode 15 of Power Forward. In this episode, we explore what it takes to turn your passion project into your full-time profession with Quiana Broden. Quiana, or Q as we affectionately know her, has built her own little empire around the concept of healthy eating. She has her own brand, a website, and now her own restaurant in Detroit. Q will tell us how it all came together, from all the times she was told no when asking for funding, to the health issue she battled that started the whole thing. Time to get cooking with Q, right now on Power Forward. The primary purpose of this podcast series is to inform, entertain, and educate. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast series do not constitute legal or other professional advice, opinions, or endorsements of any kind.
This is Power Forward.
Okay, welcome back to Power Forward. Justin White alongside Mateen Cleaves. Mateen, what's the good word?
Just living a dream, Jay White. Please don't wake me up.
All right, well, I am super excited about this episode because our guest, she's everything.
Oh, yeah.
She is an entrepreneur. She is a restaurateur. She is a health advocate. She only goes by one name, and that is Q. Quiana Broden.
Hi, my dear.
Welcome to Power Forward.
Thanks. I'm super excited to Power Forward with you.
Yeah.
You are something else. I mean, Mateen, you can speak to this. She is a dynamo. I mean, there aren't many people out there with as much personality as Q.
No.
I love you.
I've been around, I consider myself to have a lot of energy.
Come on.
Hey, I had to get ready to come here today. I knew it was on when Q got on the spot.
Let's go.
I was going to say, this studio might not be big enough for these two personalities.
Listen, it's lit, boy.
Blow a wall out or something. Q, it's great to see you.
I'm excited. I'm super excited.
You are, as we said, an entrepreneur. You own your own restaurant now.
Yes.
You've got this business, Cooking with Q. You're doing it all. You're a mom.
Oh, gosh.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
What's it like?
It's pretty exciting. I miss you guys. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I totally miss you guys.
Yeah, you beat me to the punch, Q. Because I was just about to say, I miss you so much.
Oh, my
I mean, that infectious energy, man. If you're having a bad day, well, you're not going to have a bad day around Q.
Ever.
She's not going to let it happen.
Yeah, so the backstory here is that Q used to work with us.
I did.
She was an account executive for many years, 7 years.
Yes.
And you left to go open your own business, to go
did.
all in on your own business.
I did.
What is that like to do that?
It is so new, but it is it's very good. It's a blessing because, everybody doesn't step out on it. That's a big faith leap, if I were to be perfectly honest with you. It was a big faith leap because I loved here, I loved it. This is what I've been doing for 7 years. I love the family. Everybody here is like family. So when you have to go into your own, you're like, you miss my people. But it's like very refreshing. It's like starting something new. And when you start something new, you're like, okay, I got to learn all this. Oh,
yeah.
But it's been very great.
But you had to bet on yourself.
I do,
to go out.
absolutely.
A lot of people are scared to do that.
Listen, if I can't bet on me, who else is going to bet on me?
I love it.
Okay, who's going to do it?
Yes.
I love it, yeah.
Well, what was the moment of clarity, I guess? Because I know it was something that you'd been thinking about because you've had this business going for a while.
I know.
So how did you actually decide to just take the leap eventually and say, I'm going to go do this?
I'm 100% type of girl. So even though I was doing two things at the same time, and it was kind of getting exhausting. It is. Like, you try to run a full-time business and work and that's not what people teach you. People teach you, like, when you're an entrepreneur, you just work by yourself and that's it. And it's like, some stuff costs money, so I kept my job.
Right.
Okay.
Gotta fund it.
I was like, this was my dream job that funded my dream. So once I knew, I was like, you're at the crossroad. I won't have to do anything. I'll never do it. And for me, I'd rather say, hey, I love it and end on amazing terms. And be like, I love you guys. I have to try this because if I don't try it, who else is gonna? And it's actually been like amazing.
So this is not luck. Like, you're preparing for this. Like, some people think, like, you might see a musician. Oh, he got lucky. He had a song that just made the radio, but they don't know all the work that was put in years before that.
People don't know the work.
For you, it was groundwork laid.
Literally, I started Cooking with Q in like 2015.
Oh, wow.
I didn't stop working until 2019. I want y'all to chew on that, Saints. Okay?
Right. That's right.
Chew on that, because that's what people only see the glitz and glamour in the end. And for me, I'm like, this is just the beginning. This is not even near what I think it's going to be, but it's the beginning. But you have to see the work. You have to see me rolling through here with my bag with a briefcase every day, 2 backpacks. They're like, why are you carrying this? You going somewhere? Like, nope, it's just my life on wheels.
And guys, you got to embrace that process.
Yeah.
Everybody want to go from a 0 to 100 just like that. But you learn so much during that process.
You can't miss the journey. Like, you can't miss the journey. And you got to understand, like, your work ethic is what gets you where you want to go. If you don't put in the effort, that's what you're going to get back. You put in nothing, so you're not going to get nothing. Excuse my vernacular. You put in nothing, you ain't going to get nothing.
I want to ask you about your business. You mentioned Cooking with Q. That started back in 2015. This year, you opened your own restaurant.
Like, legit.
It's called The Kitchen. It's in Detroit.
Doing big things.
I mean, this is it for you. Tell us about it.
So initially, the goal was just to have a place where people could, like, you meet their need. So for me, I was doing recipes and stuff, but then people would invite me out. You get these major corporations coming to little old me, like, hey, come to our location, show us how to eat better. And I learned that a lot of corporations got discounts from their insurance if they brought somebody in to teach their team how to eat better.
Wow.
It's straight fire. So I was like, you can only go, I was like, I'm working and doing this during lunch. So I would take a lunch and go work and come right back to work. So the grind was real. Or you'd leave work and go work again. So at some point, my brain was like, I need another space. Like, I needed a space to bring people so we could be bigger than them, just my thought. I always tell people, don't put God in a box, because you'll put yourself in this little bitty box like, I can only do this, but the reality is you made that box. So I live outside of the box. So I wanted a place where people could actually come and learn, and it had to feel warm, because people learn better when they're in, like, a nice, warm, loving environment. I wanted you to feel like you're in your own house. So think about your house. The kitchen at your house is probably like the center of the place. It's like, that's the heart of the home. So I wanted the kitchen to be the heart of Detroit. And that's what we created and opened this year. And when people say that, you hear it and you're like,
You're doing it.
It worked.
And it's all about healthy eating, right? Leading a healthy lifestyle through healthy eating. And I know that you are vegan.
Yes.
And there is a reason for that. It's not just because you chose to do it. You actually went through something and are still going through something that almost required you to make this choice.
I always tell people, like, you get so many things out of the most weird situations. Like, you go through problems in life or issues or sickness or ailments or things, and it's a reason that you have to go through it. It's a stepping stone. You have to learn. For me, I got sick. Something had to piss you off to start something else. I got sick. They told me I found out I had sarcoidosis after they did a biopsy in my lung. So when they told me that, stage 4 sarcoidosis, and they told me I had a dairy allergy at the same time. Like, not like I'm lactose intolerant. I'm talking like EpiPen, call 911 if she ate some dairy.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
I didn't understand it, and seeing that I graduated from, Google University. We get sick, we like to WebMD everything.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I looked everything up to try to figure out how can I do this, because they wanted me to take steroids like 3 to 4 times a day. And steroids are a very harsh drug. Like, it can affect your vision, it can affect your kidneys, it can affect it affects a lot of things. And I was like, dude, I just rolled over on 30. Like, I was like, I'm not about you trying to kill me. I got a husband, I got kids. Who gonna take care of them? They can't cook, you know what I mean? So my brain just was trying to figure out what can I do to not take the medicine? And I'm not against doctors. I just need to understand, what can I do naturally to fight this? And everything pointed towards plant-based. And you got to understand, telling me, well, my family's from South Carolina, they eat everything from the rooter to the tutor, say. Everything. I'm going to say everything. They eat everything. To say I'm going to go plant-based is like psycho. Like, Mama, rest her soul in heaven, made the best macaroni and cheese you ever tasted in your entire life. Who sent you to tell me that I can't have dairy? Why can't I have meat? But I had to try it. I had to give it a try. And if I were to be perfectly honest, like 30 days into doing this entire plant-based thing, my cough stopped. I had a cough that sound like I smoked 50,000 packs of cigarettes a day. In 60 days, the rashes went away. I had rashes all over my hands, my arms. You know, everybody, that's eczema. That's nothing but eczema. Put some cream on it. Like, no, that's not what's wrong. It was a part of the sarcoidosis. And after 60 days, I started seeing the difference. And I'm like, what's in the food? Like, what are we eating? Because surely what you put in your body is what you get out. So I must have been eating something that's wrong. Bernie Mac died from his sarcoidosis. So it's not something that you want to play with. You know what I mean?
You change your diet, things change instantly.
And you feel different. Like, you feel different. Like, you feel 200% different. Like, you know if you ate something that had something bad in it almost instantly. Like, your body reacts. And half the time when we think, oh, I'm hungry, or I want chocolate, or I need salt, or I need this, it's really your body telling you that it lacks something else.
So let me take you back
Come
a little
on.
bit, because you got bad news from your doctors.
Yeah.
And it would have been easy to sulk, feel sorry for yourself, give yourself an excuse to give up on everything, life, including life.
Not even.
Because we do have people that get bad news from doctors.
All the time.
But you didn't give up. You kept moving forward.
Yeah, you can't. I think when you make a choice, it's a mental choice in your mind. You're going to choose to be positive or negative. When I get upset about something, if it makes me upset, I want to cry, frustrated, because like this was that thing, right? Mm-hmm. I give myself, it's 15 minutes. I give myself a 15 minutes. I can cry for 15 minutes, and usually if I do it, I'm trying to get everything out that I forgot to do in between the times that I cried last.
Right.
So I get a 15-minute to break everything down, and then afterwards, you got to get back to it. Like, you got to get back to the money.
Right.
What's next? Like, where do you go from here? Are you going to sit and sulk? Sitting and sulking does absolutely nothing for your life. It doesn't add days. It doesn't add anything. So, to me, that's no value. There's a no value add. So, you get 15 minutes to cry. Outside of that, you got to get on and get back to it.
And you by nature are just a happy, positive person.
I'm a rainbow. Okay.
Yeah, you're a walking star.
I'm literally happy. Like, I am happy. I'm like, this is Jesus. I'm always happy.
I want you to take us back to your sickness. You know, what was it like when you were dealing with the effects of this autoimmune disease that you talked about? What would it do to you physically and also mentally?
Imagine every time you got a cold and I got a cold. Your cold can go away. My cold turned into pneumonia. When you get sick, your body creates enough white blood cells to fight off the germ. My body does the opposite. So I was always sick. I always had a cold. I always had the worst sinus infections. I always had pneumonia. I was always in the hospital. I had a breathing machine with me all the time. I kept a breathing machine with me all the time. Found out half the medicines that were giving me had dairy in them, because people don't understand that dairy is a binding agent. So instead of it healing you, it's making you sicker. So such is life. I thought my name was Copay. It was like, I got a copay for you. Hey, your copay is? I was like, Jesus of Nazareth. Everything was, it was sick.
So, I mean, it's crazy that you say you were always sick, because people didn't know.
No.
Like, nobody knew. And so what was your mindset? And I think that's what it has to be at some point, to just push through it.
I don't like pity parties. So I don't want anybody to do anything for me for pity. Like, I don't do pity. And I'm not a pity giver. So if people are sulking, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes, because that's what I give myself.
15.
You get that hot 15 and you let me know when that 15 is over. I don't know what you need to do, run, scream, jump, but for 15 minutes you can do it. And I mean, sometimes it's like an all-out brawl.
Yeah.
Like, I will scream and cry for myself for 15 minutes, but after that 15 minutes, okay, she back.
I love that.
15.
I love it.
So you make this drastic lifestyle change, right? You become a vegan, plant-based eating. You steer away from dairy because it was making you sick. At what point does this become a message that you start sharing with others? How did that happen?
So my reality was like this. You gotta think this was back in the day, because I had just rolled over on 30, honey. I am 41 now, Saint. How you doing?
And healthy.
Okay, come on. Okay, all the way healthy. But the Saints was just trying to. I'm a visual person, so like I made recipes. I posted on Facebook. This was back, and this is not the Facebook of now. This is like the beginning of Facebook.
Early Facebook.
It was early Facebook, but I posted things. I would post my recipes. I would post everything, and people. You never know who's watching. You never know. It could be kids, it could be coworkers, it could be family members, complete strangers. People are watching, and they were paying attention to the fact that You just went from being like, yo, we seen you smash Buffalo Wild Wings. And now your girl is making all these crazy dishes and they actually look good, plant-based. And we haven't seen you sick anymore. So people would ask, how did you do it? What can you do? And for me, I was like, I can only copy and paste from Microsoft Word so many times. It was like, I need to make a place. Like, I was like, copy, paste. Here's what happened. Here's my recipe. But I wanted to make a place where like a vegan could go and a meat eater. Because in real life, like vegans, sometimes, I tell people the truth. I'm a truth teller. Sometimes they're like, Peter, don't wear that leather. The seals, the whales. Why are you eating from this cow? It's a mama, right? My God. It's true. And then you get the meat eaters, and the meat eaters like, you're going to die, Q. If you don't eat meat, you're not going to have any protein. You're not going to eat no fish, no chicken, no nothing. And it was like, hi, I'm just going to dance right here in the middle where I'm going to be able to get this popping. I wanted to make that place. And like, I'm a Googler. I graduated from Google University.
That's right.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm. So I would Google, like, where is a place where vegans, I need something where vegans and meat eaters can coexist. It would never existed. Okay? Everything that you need, you already have it. You have it. It's there. So I was like, that's going to be my niche because it doesn't exist. So I don't have to fight with 50 million people to do it because it didn't exist. I wanted to make a nice little place, a blog. WordPress is free. I was trying to do everything within my budget, but get the biggest word across, right? I was like, oh, I'm about a domain now. Let's get it popping.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm Q, you cooking with me, so let's just call it Cooking with Q. I'm simple. I don't want to do things complicated. And I wanted to put everything that I talked about, put the recipes that I posted on Facebook there. It didn't have to be perfect. I was using my phone. Hello. Shout out to my iPhone, I didn't have fancy stuff until I got a couple dollars, and I was like, yo, now I can buy a camera, used. You don't have to spend every dime. You just have to do it. And it worked. And people would be like, well, I can see this recipe. Can you show me how you made it? Whoa, Facebook had videos. YouTube was banging. So I was like, let me just post some videos on YouTube. Use my little MacBooks, the software that was on my Mac. Listen, we were balling on a budget. I was just trying to make the Saints march into the same beat. So I put my videos on YouTube and people would like it. Like people would watch it and be like, okay, I can make this. So it was just a place to make vegans and meat eaters coexist. It was just a blog to meet people where they needed.
So you didn't sit back saying I had to have this big budget. You said, your iPhone, and you just jumped out there and you just went.
Listen, I'm the queen of, look, everything God want me to do, he gave it to me already. I got everything I already need. So I utilized everything that I had. Everything. So that's what I used for my blog. I took pictures on my phone, uploaded it. People were like, oh my God. It's so funny right now to this day. People are like, you have a whole team of people. Like, nope.
That's me.
I got a winner. Winner is going to find a way to win.
Winners win, Saint.
That's right.
Winners win. Okay? Right. Didn't come to play any games.
Clearly not. So you've got the blog, you're doing these videos, people are asking you for advice. At what point does the light bulb go off where you say, hey, this could be a business that actually thrives. I could do this as my full-time job.
So if I were to be perfectly honest, and everybody doesn't know this. So you know how sometimes you get an idea, but you don't want to share it because you think somebody's going to take it?
Yeah.
That's like the queen. Everybody says that, right? Mm-hmm. So on the blog, people were like, I have found a way, because Mama, rest her soul in heaven, made the best mac and cheese in the world. So I wanted to figure out how I could make mac and cheese vegan. True story. Okay. And I was like, oh gosh, I figured it out. Figured out my little vegan cheese. I figured out my tricks, how to master it. And I didn't want to put the macaroni and cheese recipe on the website. I was like, no, I didn't want to do it. I was clawing. You ever seen somebody claw a wall like a lion?
That was you?
I was like, I'm not putting this recipe on the website. God's like, girl, put it on the website. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. The day I posted the mac and cheese recipe on the blog, the next day, boom, a doggone corporate company called me and said, the person who was doing mac and cheese at our spot can't do it anymore. We need to know, can you do it?
Wow.
So crazy. And mind you, I started the blog in 2015. And for me, I never have to do anything. So in starting my blog, I'm like, this has got to be legal because nobody starts a blog for nothing. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get this money.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody's going to pay you unless you're a real business. So I did my paperwork. I spent the money to do the paperwork. So by the time when these people did call me to say, Q, we want you to come and do this, I was a business. So I could go there and sling mac and cheese left and right.
Wow.
And literally from that moment on, people just start reaching out, different companies, different corporations, because they get breaks when they have people come in to talk about health. If you teach the people that are at your place to eat better, the health insurance will give you a break on your health insurance. Wow. So it was like, how can you, I'm helping people. Like, why would you not? My only purpose was to show people how to eat to live. Like, that was the basic thing. Because if you find what the goal is, if you keep dabbing at that, you won't lose. But I think you just can't get unfocused. If the focus is to teach people how to eat to live, no matter what I do, whether it was a blog, whether it was me going to show them how to do it, it all had the same nucleus.
And you just hit on something. You said the paperwork.
Oh.
And I think that's very important for people that's trying to start businesses.
My God.
You know, because everybody have these ideas. You know, I want to do this, I want to do that. Well, the paperwork has to be right.
Put your money where your mouth is.
They're going to take you serious.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Exactly.
And I tell people that too. It's really just investing in yourself. Mm-hmm. If you don't spend the money to invest in yourself, why should other people?
That's a good point.
Like, that's real talk. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to invest in your own self. And for me, that was it. It's either you believe. I never let people put God in the box. I always say, don't put me in a box. I don't live in that box. I'm outside the box. So everything I think of is completely outside of what a normal person would think. And I don't care. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm trying everything.
You're doing you.
I'm doing it.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 100 ideas and 50 of them work. I tried them.
Right.
But if I didn't try one, you know what I'm saying?
That goes back to, I got a sports background.
Come
on. So
on.
it's like, you miss every shot you don't take.
That is real life though. But like, that's a real life statement. In real life, like, if you don't try it, you don't even know if you was going to make the shot in the first place.
Exactly.
I want to ask you about education too, specifically with younger people, because you've got this foundation. It's called Eat to Live.
Yes.
And this is one that's really near and dear to your heart. Tell us about that.
So for me, I remember I went to Detroit Public Schools, DPS. Shout out.
Yeah, show them love.
For real.
Yes.
I went to DPS, but I don't remember being able to go to some fancy place where I could learn how to eat off of a ceramic, like nice dishes, forks, knives. That nobody was teaching us that, right? But we did have home ec. And right now, that's the reverse. There's no home ec in schools.
And that's sad.
That makes me upset. And so we basically leave our kids to YouTube. Second thing, when people get diagnosed with new ailments, where do they go to learn how to eat better? Where do they learn to eat to live? Because we quick to pass out the prescriptions, right? My name used to be Copay. I know. The Saints have marched in. We've marched down that road. But there's no place. So when I created the Eat to Live Foundation, the goal for it was to be a place where, hey, these kids can now, I want to pay for the transportation for the kids to get to the kitchen to learn how to eat better. We have a whole curriculum mapped out for the kids from ages literally first grade through high school.
Wow.
Well, they can learn what a complete meal looks like because kids are sponges. And if you show them, they'll do it. Mm-hmm. But if you never teach them and they think hot Cheetos is breakfast or donuts is breakfast, like, I want to drop kick my granddaddy sometimes. Like, Daddy, why are you giving these babies donuts? That's high fructose corn syrup. That is not breakfast.
Right.
Like, what if we teach them while they're younger, there are tomorrow, they won't have to deal with half the stuff that we deal with now. A lot of ailments that you see right now, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't as prominent. It's prominent now because I call us the quick fix, crew. We want everything right quick. Let me get something to eat right quick because I don't have time to sit and cook with my family. Let me just run and get a quick burger because I can get 5 burgers for $5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I've done it before.
But they make it so easy for us. So it's like, for me, I want to reverse that thought process. It has to start somewhere. So if we start with the kids will learn it and they'll take it home. Mom, Dad, look what I learned at school. I can learn how to make a quesadilla and I don't have to use no dairy. Q says she don't eat nothing with her mama. If it don't have, I don't eat my mama. Why would I want to eat somebody else's mama? That's what vegan is. But you meet them where they need. So the foundation's goal is to use all the money that we raise for that to pay for the kids' transportation. DPS does enough. They got enough stuff to worry about. Mm-hmm. How about they don't pay for transportation and they don't pay for their classes?
That's power.
If you just got an ailment from a hospital, if they just diagnosed you with diabetes, you get the machine. They tell you how to get the machine and they tell you how to take the pills. But how about I show you some preventative measures that can help you to stop it or reverse the ailment that you have?
Right.
People always talk about the pushing to keep it going, but let's talk about how do we prevent it.
And the parents, if you're anything like me, you hate sitting up in the emergency room.
Oh, my God.
So how about let's treat these kids or doctors' offices, you hate sitting up in there as well.
Period.
So let's teach them how to eat right so you don't have to do that.
Preventative. It's crazy because I'm always looking stuff up. So I look and see like how many kids are born with high blood pressure. Like, how are you born with, you just got here. Like, wait,
Right.
how do you have high blood pressure? But whatever you put in your body is what you get out. So the earlier we teach them that makes it, you see what I'm saying? The earlier we teach them how to eat, the good stuff to put in their body. My rule for everybody is always 70-30. 70% fruits and vegetables, 30% everything else. I'm not saying don't eat the cake, Anna Mae.
Because, I was about to, like, come
I'm
on.
just saying don't eat all of it.
Okay,
70%,
okay.
look at your plate. If we teach people that, if we teach babies that, they remember that.
Everything in moderation, right? That's what you're saying.
Everything.
You're not telling people to do everything one way or everything another way.
Literally. My kids right now, my son, this is a little jerk, this guy's going, Mom, if it's vegan, I don't want it. Like, you know what? Boy, French fries are vegan and you eat French fries.
Right.
Okay. But he'll eat a bowl of corn for breakfast. Like, he'll eat fresh salads all day. The boy would smash salads. He loves it. And he cooks. He doesn't mind cooking. And that's something that we don't give kids the opportunity to do anymore. Let them cook, let them create, and learn what they can do. Every house has a stove. It's not my fault y'all don't use it. Okay?
Right.
You brought up a really interesting point, too, about everybody being too busy now, to dedicate the time that's required to eat healthy. It is just easier to go get a quick burger and fries.
God.
Do you think that we as a society need to shift in a direction where you can go grab a healthy salad for the same price as you can get a burger, fries, and a Coke?
Oh my gosh, that right there, you hit the nail right on the head, because we're too busy and it's too much noise. Because you got to think about TV, radio, internet, everything that the kids look at. The ads are telling them to go grab that quick snack.
Right.
It's telling you to give, I call it hush juice, when you give your kids hush juice, all that high fructose corn syrup in a juice box, and then you give it to them and send them to school and wonder why they're so hyper in the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're giving them hush juice. Like, stop giving them hush juice. You're doing nothing but putting sugar on their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You're not paying attention to what they eat. So I'm that person. Like, I want to make sure that what I say is being heard and received, where they can actually do that at home or do that when they go out, because people don't read labels.
And you know what I hear a lot, being in the inner city, is we can't afford to eat healthy. I hear that all the time, Q. What, talk to me about that, because I hear it a lot.
I hear it a lot too.
Okay.
And my words, I'm honest and I'm true. I'm like, shut your mouth. I look at everybody's shoes around. I'm like, your shoes look nice. Your outfits are fly. Your kids got on $200 shoes. They're wearing Yeezys.
Yeah.
What can't you afford?
Right.
Like, you can't put a price tag on your life.
Gotta make it
so
important.
don't come to me to say you need to put a price tag on groceries, when that's, like, your body is your temple. You need this thing to last. Like, this thing could last for hundreds of years if we actually took care of it the right way. It can. It's built to last, okay? It's built to last, but the stuff that we put in it is what alters its state. It's what we put in it. It's the food. I always tell people, how long does it take for you to get your food from the farm to the fork? How long did it take? So when you buy something, how long did this take to get from the farm to the fork? How processed is it?
Think about that.
Like, legit. Yep. Like, when you go to the grocery store, I tell people all the time, like, even when you go to the grocery store, if you have to spend a couple more dollars to get organic in the United States is different than organic overseas.
Yeah.
How so?
Psycho. Some of the stuff that they allow us to use, you can't use overseas. Apples, do you guys have gardens? Anybody got a garden?
Yeah.
Think about when you go to your garden. When you get your garden fresh apples or your fresh cucumbers, your fresh tomatoes, are they shining?
They're delicious.
Are
There's
they
nothing
shining?
like it.
They're dirty.
Right.
When you go to the grocery store, everything has lip gloss on it. That's what I call it. I call it lip gloss. Everything is shining. Why is it shining?
They want to make it visually appealing to the
Because
consumer.
we have literally been programmed to want things that are more appealing. It has to be pretty. It has to be. But when you get home, I tell everybody, drop your fresh fruits and vegetables in a big sink, fill all of it up, put a cup full of vinegar in it, and watch the real colors of your fruits and vegetables. People don't pay attention. And then you watch the water. There's be a whole layer of, like, I call it lip gloss. It's the Vaseline in the water. It shows you everything that they put to make it for you. So how long did it take to get from the farm? I love shopping local. I love running down to the Eastern Market in Detroit and getting fresh fruits and vegetables. I love having the farmers pull up on me like, yo, I just harvested this. Great job. Because if I won't give it to my kids, I don't want to give it to my customers. But I need for everybody to think like that in their own houses.
All right, you talked about your customers, and you've got this whole Cooking with Q brand going, and then there's the idea for a restaurant, and that idea is now a reality.
Oh my God.
You've got your own space in Detroit.
Psycho.
It's called The Kitchen.
Psycho.
How did you get this up and running? Because it is not easy to open a business. It is not easy to survive in the restaurant business. And Detroit is I don't even want to say it's up and coming anymore. It's back.
Like,
there's a lot of
mecca.
There's a lot of competition out there,
Yes.
Q. And you know, I know there didn't used to be healthy food options, but there are some now. So how did it all come together?
So you hear all my frustration and anger about how I want you to pay attention to the food you eat. I needed to have a place where people could actually go to do the same thing. You go to eat to live. You go to learn how to eat to live. Because I used to tell people like, I'm not a restaurant. And then God popped me on my forehead and said, girl, shut up. You are what I tell you are. So initially, it was never supposed to be a restaurant whatsoever. Initially, I got this idea while I'm sitting. It was so funny. I was sitting into a meeting and Matt was talking. And literally, I got this vision. And I'm the person that as soon as I get a vision, I like to write it down. You know, the Bible says, write it down, make it plain.
That's right.
I wrote it down on a Post-it note because I travel with Post-it notes all the time because I'm a Post-it note kid. So I wrote down everything I saw. I saw like people eating around it. I saw a counter. I'm like, it looks like a supersized kitchen. It looks like a kitchen that I would want in like if I could have the fanciest house. It was like the kitchen. It was that. And that's how it got named because y'all know I don't want to be too like dramatic. I was just like, it's a kitchen. Let's just call it the kitchen. Keep it simple. So I called it kitchen. So this kitchen, I put it in a folder. Every day, it walked with me. It came to work every day. I was like, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but surely God didn't give me this vision for no apparent reason. So I need to start doing everything to figure out a way to get this. And mind you, I didn't have what everybody would say, perfect get a business credit, perfect get a business money, because that build out was like $614. It cost $614,000 to build that building out. And I was like, who sent you? I don't know who has that money, but I don't know where it's coming from, but we got to do it. So when I did it, I knew I just had to do everything to get towards the Post-it note. So anything I did, I was researching, I was reading books. I looked for grants from the state. I looked for grants from the city. All I knew is I have to create this kitchen because the kitchen was going to be a culinary hub for people to learn how to eat better. It was going to be a place they can come for classes as opposed to me going to the corporations. Now they can come directly to me and regular people can come to me. I wanted the kids from the Eat to Live Foundation to have a place to go. And it had to be nice because, you know, when I was a kid, we didn't go to a fancy place. It had to be fancy for them. I wanted it to be a place where chefs could go because when you were working as a chef without a building, you have to go rent spaces to cook. You can't cook out the crib.
Right.
That's not, no, you can't cook out the house. You have to have a place. So I wanted it to be those things. And so literally, I applied for some grants. I applied for the same grant multiple times. I applied for any grant I could get. Hatch Detroit, I applied for Hatch Detroit.
Multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't give up.
Oh, no, there was nothing. When God give you a plan, like, you roll with that boy. Like, there's no layaway plan. Like, the Saints will march in full force at some point.
So you're thinking, I'm going to get this grant.
Yeah, I'm going to get something. Something's going to work out because surely you wouldn't give it to me for me to just sit on it. So that's what I tell people, like, stuff is like a faith leap. And if you fall short or fail, you have to fail forward. Fall forward. When I applied for Motor City Match, I probably applied 3 times. Didn't get it. Got it the last time.
That's right.
I got it, but I asked the questions, like, and I'm the queen of like, what did I miss? What didn't I do? What do I need to do to get better? What was the difference between my business plan? You know, and sometimes you want to take the fast road because I know there are people who are like, I do business plans. I paid somebody to do my business plan, wasted some money.
Wasted money.
Literally threw it out the window because it wasn't me. It wasn't me talking. So I tell people like, do it yourself. Like, do it yourself. You want to be an entrepreneur? This is what it is. You got to go all in. Literally went back the final time, I won a $60,000 grant.
Wow. Because nobody's going to care as much as you do.
No.
Because this is your baby.
And it was a baby that nobody had ever seen. Because I got a lot of no's. Because there's no place that exists like it. There's no place in Detroit that looks like the kitchen. There is no place. And then there's not one.
You expand on that a little bit because I think people get that answer all the time when they reach out because we haven't seen this before. So
it's true because you're like a wild card investment. It's like, how do I invest in you? And I know like there's nothing. Now, if I was trying to open up like in McDonald's or KFC, anything regular, they have numbers to compare you to.
Yeah.
But when you're doing something that's completely different, they have no like historic data to compare you to. There's nothing in the city. So I had to be okay with the no's and understand where the no's, but make my presentation better. Because I was die hard. Like, I was die hard.
You know, and I have a music background.
Come on,
because
music.
I had an artist, you know, we ended up inking a deal with Dr. Dre.
Come on.
But it's funny because we would go through different record labels, right? And they would listen to this music. And they would say, it's not quite this, it's not that, it's not that. And that would drive us crazy.
I'm the queen of don't put me in your box.
Yeah, it would drive us crazy. But
yeah,
you fast forward a year or two later, we're sitting in front of Dr. Dre,
and
he
it's
gets
lit.
it. He gets it. I was tired of hearing that, Q, that, oh, it doesn't sound like this or it's not that. Like you said, people were scared to jump on it.
Yeah.
But the great Dr. Dre took a chance on it.
So is the lesson here, don't be afraid to be yourself, even if critics tell you otherwise?
You cannot.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with, this is who you were created. None of us were created to be the same, ever. There's not one DNA that matches the other. We were not created to be the same. So why would you be mad at me for being my own individual self? I like who I am. And I like what I represent. And in my head, if it took 100 people to tell me no, I was going to keep going to 101
That's
to the
right.
last person told me yeah. And it's okay, because that's what I did. I ended up working with Detroit Development Fund, gave me a $100,000 loan. I worked with Invest Detroit. Invest Detroit gave me a $300,000 loan. We had a lender that was with us and ended up backing out, which is crazy, because usually if one person backs out, then that makes them all want to trickle and fall.
Yeah.
So for me, I still didn't let that stop me. I was just like, you know what? I'll just use my own money. And that's what I did.
You got to bet on yourself sometimes.
I'll bet everything on myself, okay? Everything. The shoes I'm walking on right now, I bet everything on myself.
So the kitchen, it's a real thing now. You've got people investing in you. You certainly believe in yourself.
Oh, God.
How do you then make it a success? How do you make it become the grand vision that you have for your business and your brand? Because let's be honest, this is an extension of you and who you are.
Everything had to be what the focus was. The whole purpose God gave me was to teach people how to eat to live. So no matter what I do, I knew if I teach people to eat to live, I won't worry. If I do things that deviate from it, you can't be focused on just the money, because most people that chase money, you don't get it. That was like right next to my Post-it note. I had a Post-it note of the building and a Post-it note of like, what are your values gonna be? Like, you look for great people, you keep the dream. Like, you have to keep what the focus is. If the focus is to teach people to eat to live, no matter what, everything that you do, that's what it is. When I market to people, marketing is to teach you how to eat. It's showing you how to do it. We only became a cafe, like, I opened June 3rd, so like, let's not get it twisted. The Saints have not been open for like 8,000 years. We've been open since June 3rd, and people are like, I don't know how you're busy. I don't know how you keep your doors. Like, because mind you, we're in like, I don't want to say a desolate area of Detroit, but it's a Midtown Detroit block from, I mean, the craziest part is my grandma, rest her soul in heaven. She used to shop on that block for her Sunday church hats from Mr. Sun and go get her shoes from Miss Roby's Shoes across the street. And Miss Roby's Shoes is still there. So this was a block that it was like desolate. It was nothing but abandoned buildings, and everything is coming up. Like, everything is coming up. There's so many things there that's coming now. And for me to be there, to me it's a blessing, but I have to bring the people to that spot. Because the reality is, that's not a spot that's been popping. It's not, we
got to get them there.
It's not Shinola Hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in an area where there's nothing. And then there was no food. But there are City of Detroit, all kind of office buildings around me. So I literally market to people for lunch, because Tuesday through Friday, we're only open for lunch, 11 to 2. And you get people who complain about that, but they don't understand, like, I sit here and I will watch all day to see what the foot traffic looks like all day.
Yeah.
So I know people are here for lunchtime. And the only reason people are there at night, because when people get off work, what do you want to do? You want to go, when you get off work? Go home.
Yeah,
right? So people go home. So even though you want me to be open for dinner, it's not beneficial right there.
So is there a lesson there, Q, for other entrepreneurs and business owners out there about the right strategic approach?
Because
God. You could have opened guns a-blazing and said, oh, we're going to do breakfast, we're going to do lunch, we're going to have carry-out dinners available for people, but you chose a very specific window based on what you saw. What's the lesson there for other business people?
Where they need you.
Say that again.
Meet people where they need you. I think people go in with their guns blazing because they're only focused on the money. You lose me. If you only want to talk to me about money, you're going to lose.
Right.
Because I'm not in it for just the money. The money will come, but if I'm focused on what the real goal is, the goal is the neighborhood knocked on my door. I got 100 people knocking on my door every day, and they're like, are you going to do lunch? Because I work in the building that's behind you. I work around the corner. I work here. It's lunchtime.
Right.
They're walking around because it's lunchtime. They want lunch. So why would I give you breakfast when nobody knocked on the door during breakfast time? You have to meet people where they're needed. Friday nights, I do a Friday night after work wind down because after work on Friday, some people want to decompress. I like to decompress before I go home. So guess what? From 4 to 8, you get dinner. I don't want to be the turn up. You know what I mean? Like, I just want you to come and decompress and relax. Bring your own bottle of wine. There's live music because my husband's a DJ and we keep it in the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to meet people where they need. Friday nights are literally booked. Every Friday.
Wow.
And lunch slaps.
And this did not happen by accident. And you're obviously a very outgoing person, infectious personality. And I want to ask you just about the role that networking plays in marketing yourself. Because now you've got companies coming to you, right? They're holding team bonding events in your space.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you network? How do you get the word out? How do you meet people and let them know that you've got this thing going now and that, hey, if you have a need, we should talk?
If I were to, I'm going to tell y'all this and y'all going to think I'm crazy, but it's okay because it's my truth. I treat everybody like it could be Jesus. I treat everybody the same, whether you're the CEO or whether you're the janitor.
That's right.
I treat everybody the same. Nobody gets more respect than another. We're all human. If you cut me, we bleed the same blood. I treat everybody the same. So when people walk through the door, everybody's family. I tell people, when you come through that door, like, you are family. It's my job to teach my family how to eat better. Everybody in my community, no matter where you came from, I want you to eat better. So when you come there, you know when you have lunch is healthy. Nobody's gonna come to Q and be like, yo, and they've done it. Yo, can we get fried chicken? I'm gonna be like, no.
You're in the wrong spot.
I'm like, nah, bro. They get the bye Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Like, I'm not frying food for you because it's enough unhealthy stuff out there for you.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I want to do everything that's positive. So I'm going to give you all the healthy food, as much healthy food as I can.
So that's what drives you every day.
Yeah.
Not the money, because like you said, people get screwed up in dollar signs. You know?
My God.
They start off and it's like, oh, well, we can do this and we can do that and we can make more money. You still, like, it's about the people.
It's about teaching people how to eat to live.
Nice.
If everything, you can't. You have to stay true to yourself. If you stay true to yourself, you won't miss it.
What about your just core beliefs, the values? You talked about values a couple minutes ago. What are the things that you hold near and dear to your heart? And how do you kind of keep yourself going? Like, what are the things that you firmly believe in that play into your success as a businesswoman, as a mom, the whole thing, the whole picture?
My biggest thing is I like to make sure people understand that, like, we're all family. Whether we want to be family or not, we're all family, right? And the same thing I would do in my house is what I do for my family, my team. I tell us we don't even do titles at the building. We don't do titles because titles make people stupid. People get these big heads and egos, and I don't do egos. Let egos fly by themselves. I don't do egos. So you have to focus on if we have the common goal, and the common goal, no matter what, is to eat to live. You have to find out, remember what the dream is. What is the dream? Is the dream for us to be able to eat, live, because we want to live happier, healthier lives. So how can I teach you to be a happier, healthier, and have a happier, healthier life?
And I need you to talk about this for a second, because the deck was stacked against you.
Oh, God.
First of all, let me say this. Growing up in the inner city, public school education, which we don't have all the resources. You're a minority.
Oh, yeah, I am black. And I am a woman. Oh, my God, I didn't even know.
So, every time you look in the mirror.
I'm just saying.
So, talk to that person, that think the deck is stacked against them. How do they flip that deck?
It's your perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is your perspective. You get to choose whether you're going to make it a positive or a negative. Choose the positive every time. It's happier, it's less stressful, and everything will work out. And if you go through a situation, there's a reason you had to. To me, nothing is by chance. Nothing happened by mistake. You were supposed to go through it. I could care less what it is. Don't care. You were supposed to go through it. Ask yourself, what lesson am I supposed to get out of that? Because if you figure out what the lesson is in that, you use it to move forward. It's falling forward. I say that to everybody, like, fall forward. It doesn't matter if you fall, get up. What's next? You get 15 minutes to clown. 15. And then go.
Some coaches need to listen to that. Halftime, 15 minutes and let it go. Just leave it alone.
Like, you have to let it go.
Yeah. How do you balance everything that you do? I mean, how do you find the time for it all with your family, with your business? How do you balance it all?
I, at first, did not know. I was like, I don't know what to do. Why is this happening? And burnout is real. Burnout is real. I had to learn how to schedule time away. My do not disturb. D&D, they're on my calendar. I have to tell my husband, I have to tell my children, I tell my family, my friends, D&D. When they get that D&D, that means you cannot disturb me. You do not get that time. And you have to, it's you. Like, you have to protect yourself. You can't be everything to everybody if you are not okay. You get on the airplane, they tell you cannot put the mask on somebody else if you don't put the mask on yourself first.
Right.
How you gonna save somebody and you, okay. So sometimes I take a day off. You can't do anything, and it's okay to not look at social media, to not talk to your friends, to not talk to your family. I tell my kids, my husband, like, today is the day that you won't cook with Q. You're
cooking with you.
You're going to call somewhere, order something, because I'm like, do something. Like, it's not you. I'll go get a massage. I'll go have dinner by myself. You have to take time for yourself, or you'll be no good to everybody
So
else.
was it a moment in your life where you realized you had to do that? Was it something like, wow, this is like, I'm drained, this is too much? Or when did this idea come about? Because you give so much of yourself to everybody.
My God.
So was it something that happened that you said, okay, if I want to be the best I can be, I got to take my time off and just have time for myself?
I hate that it's always like I got sick. But like with sarcoidosis, that I don't really want to claim it, but like with sarcoidosis, if you are not rested, you will cause your own flare-up.
Oh, okay.
Stress and anxiety will cause your own flare-up. Like, I didn't know trying to build out a building was so stressful. I didn't know. I didn't know. So try to work a full-time job and build out. They tell people that are married, like, if you do a new construction of a house, like, that is like the biggest deal breaker. People divorce off of like freaking building out a house. So imagine trying to run your home life, working, and I ended up in the hospital. And they were like, you're exhausted. This was what exhaustion looks like.
Yeah.
And this will severely ignite your sarcoidosis. You probably need to sit down. And my doctor gave me a prescription to not move for like 10 days.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, sit down and don't move. Like, don't do anything. Whoops, sorry.
Oh, you're
like,
good.
Don't get out. Don't go out. Don't do anything for the family. Don't go grocery shopping. You can't do anything. So for 10 days, I had to learn how to say, help, because that's the word we don't like to use. Help.
Right.
Help. I had to say help. I had to ask other people to do things for me. And then I realized, like, okay, God, you wanted me to learn how to say help, because I want to do things myself. And it's okay. None of us were put on this earth to be alone and to do things by yourself. You have to be okay with utilizing your people. That's what you got a network for in the first place.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to ask you about the people that you choose to surround yourself with, and how the effects of that can be a part of your business. You know, when you think about not just friends, not just coworkers, but even family, people that you surround yourself with. What are the thoughts that go into that for you? I
only am around people who are positive. If people are negative, it's not that I don't like you, but they are energy wasters. Like, you have to be around people who keep you positive. There's enough negative stuff in the world every day. It's easier for people to tell you something negative than it is for them to tell you something positive. Yeah. You ask somebody to say 10 nice things about somebody. It's like pulling teeth. But if you tell me to read somebody for filth, people will read you for filth. It's too much noise in the world today. It's too much social media. There's negative stuff everywhere. So for me, I choose, you have to listen, I choose happiness, I choose positivity, and I only want to be around people that's going to fan that flame of mine. Like, it's not that I want you to be a yes man, because that's a difference. I'm not saying be a yes man, but like I have to protect my energy. And my energy is, I like positivity. If you're not bringing positivity, you're not bringing something to be valuable, if we can't be mutually valuable to each other, like, that's called bye Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. I love
bye
that.
Felicia, man.
I love that. Now, because you are on social media, do you ever get negative comments? Because I know social media can be a good platform for people, but sometimes they put themselves out there and then it's a negative comment. And for me, I'm at a point in my life where I do not care what people say anymore. No. I used to care. I don't anymore. For you, is it like negative? Because sometimes, and I don't know how it could be, but you got some people that just
people were mad at me because they were like, I am so upset that your place is not 100% vegan. And I was like, oh, well, my entire mission, my entire time has been to teach people how to eat to live by introducing more plant-based food to everyday people.
Right.
We're a place where vegans and meat eaters coexist. You must have done your research because surely, listen, I can give you the positive spin on anything. Anything you say to me, I don't care how negative it can roll off your tongue. I can hit you with that Jesus. And you can't do nothing about it. People walk away. They don't know what to do.
Would they leave you reviews criticizing you for that?
Oh my God. Somebody told me, it was so funny the other day, and people were like, Q, you should just stop reading the reviews. I was like, no, you have to meet people where they need. Mm-hmm. The lady was mad. She said, I think she told me that, I think you need to do a better job at marketing when you're open, because every time I've come for 3 times, it was closed for a private event. And I was like, oh my God, I'm super sorry that you feel sorry about that. But here's the phone number. You should just phone first next time. Because there's no way I'm going to go somewhere 3 times and not call first. I'm sorry.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. But people also, people give you these unreasonable expectations. They give you unsolicited advice, and people will give you things that you didn't ask for. So you have to just politely say, it's okay that this is my area. It's okay that I'm teaching meat eaters and vegans how to coexist. That's my spot. If that's what you want to do, you open up your own spot and you do that.
That's right.
I'm totally cool with it.
What do you tell people who want to know how they can find a career where they are pursuing their passion? Because you found it, and obviously it happened to you by chance because you got sick, and then you changed the way you live, and now you've got this business. But when people come to you and say, Q, I would love to be able to do what I love, to open my own business that's involving my true passion, my true center, as a person, what is the advice that you give those people?
I always ask them, what is the thing that you do the easiest that is more complicated for everybody else? Because usually people don't understand, like, you've been doing something since you were born that you do with so much ease and everybody else can't do it. Because I will also tell you, everything that people think is their passion is a personal passion. It's not necessarily their purpose. Mm. You doing passion and purpose is 2 different projects.
Yes, it is.
Okay? I know my purpose was to show people how to eat to live. Because I make it easy for them. I show them how to do it. It's not just, I'm just saying it to you. Because people can talk at you. Right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in my head, it's always like everybody wants to be the leader, but nobody really wants to listen and lead. I can lead you, but am I giving it to you where you're actually retaining what I'm saying? I thought I was supposed to be a singer. I was supposed to be on stage. Me and Beyonce were supposed to sing. I was supposed to be like a hip hop rock star. I was supposed to sing rock music. That's what I thought was my passion. That was not my purpose. My purpose is to show people how to eat to live. And the reason why that's a passion and a purpose is because I'm walking the right line. Everything is falling in line to what you do. So people who say they want to do their passion, my brain always asks, what's the thing that you do that everybody can't do? And that causes people to think about it. Because some people are like, I'm a talker. There's some people that don't talk. I have friends that are not talkers, but they can edit the mess out of something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Edit then, Saint. Right. The guy who does all my video production is the guy who was in the band with me, and he plays the guitar and the bass.
Wow.
So when I was doing my videos, I'm like, yo, I'm tired of holding this camera myself. I can't do it. I need you to help me. Come over. My man's creates music, so all my music is always authentic because he makes music. I was a singer. We called ourselves President and President because he did the music. I sang and wrote the songs. But he edits the mess out of my videos. People think that somebody I pay gazillions of dollars, like, yo, we grow together. And now when people come out, I'm like, I won't leave him. We're together. Like, if I'm on the OWN network, he's on OWN network with me because he knows me. He's been with me from the beginning. But his brain didn't think that was supposed to be his purpose or his passion. I was like, bro, you need to start a company because if I'm paying you, you got to have a company. So you need to 1099. Do your paperwork.
That's right.
You know what he did? His paperwork. And he's a real thing.
How about that? Hey, if people want to learn more, tell them the website again.
Oh my gosh. Come and visit at www.cookingwithq.com. Everything is on the website. Literally, we meet the needs. Everything is there, from recipes to our YouTube to the kitchen to understanding what our menu is, because our menu changes at the kitchen all the time. Everything is there.
And just so they're clear, that's Cooking with Q. Q-U-E.
That's me.
That's you. And if you're local, if you're in Detroit,
yes,
and you're hungry, and it's the lunchtime hour, I repeat, the lunchtime hour.
Yeah, come and
check out
us.
The kitchen, right?
Please come to the kitchen. It's the
we
kitchen.
We gotta go, Mateen.
I love y'all.
For sure.
We're taking a trip.
Please.
It's a must.
I'm much fun.
I'm not vegan. I like to eat healthy, but I am all about
there are meat eater
checking
options.
out the kitchen.
There are meat eater options for the saints. It's healthy. You might get some halal. You know, everything is halal and good for you.
Like you said, we can find a place to coexist.
Come on, let's get it.
I'm ready.
I love this so much.
Q, we wish you nothing but continued success, and we are proud of all of you have accomplished thus far, and look at you.
I totally appreciate you guys. This is super dope. I got to come back home. I'm like, this is still my home. This is always home. I'm like, listen, this is home. I get to come back home. Legit.
Q.
What do you do?
Oh.
You cooking with Q.
Come on. He will provide.
There she is. Quiana Broden, a.k.a. Q.
I love you.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks so much, my dear.
And thank you for listening. To make sure you never miss an episode of Power Forward, subscribe wherever you find your podcasts and leave us a review. And look for another new episode coming your way 2 weeks from now, featuring more inspirational stories of success. I'm Justin White. We'll see you next time on Power Forward.